Did you watch this
wait,
when
wait, wait.
did you watch it when I sent it to you?
I didn't. I did not watch it because I don't like
Yes.
watching the videos that. I don't like watching injury videos like
All
this,
right. Well,
man.
this isn't a professional setting, at least.
It's not a professional setting.
This is at a competition meet.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
yes. All right, so she breaks her arm.
I can't. Let me see it again.
All right.
You had to slow mo that. Which arm did she break?
It's her left arm.
Left arm.
What I think happened, because dude, her arm, if you look at it, her arm breaks right as she stops in the squat. And also, number one for everybody watching, don't low bar squat. So when
But
you
some
low bar
people do
squat, it
better
puts
with
a
low
lot
bar
of torque.
squats.
Well, low bar squatting puts a lot of torque on your shoulders. That's why
But
guys
it also depends on your structure as well.
that's very true.
That's why people do use this low bar squat is based around their structure. So
I'm
maybe,
not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying like I never low bar squat because I have a long clavicle, but it's one of those things where that's why, like, I think I was talking to Francis one time and his shoulder was hurting so bad and he couldn't bench. And I was like, do you low bar squat? And he goes, yeah. And I said, stop low bar squatting. And then I guess it helped. But low bar squatting puts so much torque on your shoulder. It might have been her shoulder that broke.
Where did it pop?
That's what I'm trying to. Oh,
Ooh,
yeah, look at it.
Ooh.
That's
So
her
it's
shoulder,
right there.
dude. Bro, that's her
Ooh.
shoulder.
Ooh.
Oh my God. I thought it was her arm.
No, that's her shoulder. So popped out.
Oh, maybe she dislocated it, but I mean, you could hear it.
I don't even want to hear it.
All right.
No, I mean, like, yeah, it depends on your structure. That's why people low bar squat.
Yeah.
So if you get the whole idea for low bar squats is it's for performance. It's not for anything else.
Yeah.
So if you could, their main goal is to lift as heavy as possible.
Yeah.
I don't care about
I think, dude, I think low bar squatting, I don't know, maybe I'm just so biased, but low bars, whenever I see somebody low bar squat, they're bent over. Like
that's the whole idea.
No, and I understand that. But at the same time, the people that low bar squat, I feel like don't really go to a lot of depth because they don't bent over so much. Well, but I understand. I get the mechanics. People who could do it can definitely do it. Like, but I think there's people really got to feel it out, whether it's a hit or miss sometimes.
Well, the whole idea is just for performance. It's just to lift as heavy as possible, right? So, okay, what's this one?
I don't know why this one reminded me of you. I have no idea why.
Why is he? Because he's like, why?
Look at him get up.
First of all, why would that remind you of me?
I don't know, dude.
I never deadlift like that.
Dude, look at him get up.
Look at his legs.
All right. So an easy way to, like, if this does happen, I mean, I know for a fact from squatting, this has come very close to happening before, where I'm like, it's kind of like you start getting tunnel vision or you see stars a little bit.
Sure.
And, you know, a safety thing that jiu-jitsu guys do, I learned it doing jiu-jitsu, is if you're ever around and somebody passes out like that, blacks out, walk up when they're laying on the ground and lift their legs up. That's all you got to do. And the person will wake right up. It is because when you lift the person's legs up when they're passed out, the blood from their legs rushes to their head and wakes them up. But this guy,
You know, well, I think I think a hot topic that has been going around is breathing mechanics, like
yeah,
how to breathe properly.
yeah,
I've seen people talk about it. I've heard it. It's breathing mechanics is huge when it comes to like lifting, right? So
yeah.
that's something that I definitely have to look into a lot more. But breathing mechanics is something that is a whole part of lifting. So I
Yeah.
mean, this dude just probably just wanted. He was just going for it.
Yeah. Do you ever
He did
feel
not
do you ever
care
feel like when you're
whatsoever.
lifting with a belt, it's kind of counteractive? Like have you ever
Like,
lifted
what do
with
you
a
mean?
belt and been like, this doesn't feel good, or I can't really get my breathing under control?
Whenever I use the Inzer belt, that the clip-on belt,
Yeah, that's the one I have. Yeah.
I do not like those. Well, I haven't been.
Is it,
So
you
I
think
don't
it's
even.
too square, huh?
I don't. It's uncomfortable for me.
Oh.
Um, uh, it's just uncomfortable. I don't like it. But I mean, dude, I don't lift like a power lifter, or like
Yeah, I
so I
feel
don't
it.
really care too much about that. So I stopped. I even stopped using a belt.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to rely on a belt. Like, I'll just get my abs stronger.
What the fuck? Yeah, I haven't used a belt in I don't know how long.
You know what annoys me is when people, not annoying, but like I think it's funny because I used to do this too, is wear a belt around for no reason. Like you're
Dude,
walking
you
around the
know what?
gym.
I've never done that. I think I've never done it because when I'm breathing, or I could just never, it's just too fucking tight. Even when I sit down, I can't do it.
No, people walk like I feel like it's supposed to be like this cool thing, like, oh, look at my waist, it's so small. Like walking around with the belt when you don't need it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's
I think that, yeah, I see a
you
lot
know what
of
I'm saying?
guys. I see a lot of guys do it. And I think uh, it makes my waist look smaller type of deal.
But that's the whole idea, right?
Yeah. All right.
Like, look at my belt. It's so cool.
This one isn't so bad.
What is he doing? Oh. he, he, he- so he thought it was the other
This poor guy.
So
Hey, dude, he
so
bailed out.
that just shows we're a form
He
of we're made out of habit. Like
he
that's
bailed
definitely
out
off
pretty
of
good though.
habit.
Like, could you imagine falling to the ground with the bar behind your head?
It that looks like great form. You know what I mean? Like look at that. If
I don't think
he
this
was
is this
doing
guy's
some type
fault.
of
You
it was
know,
just based out of it's totally his fault. He should have known it was the other direction though.
but see, that's okay. That's another like word of advice. What I honestly don't think a lot of people do, and I've seen this many times at 24, where guys are not paying attention. Like I seen one guy at the squat rack and he unloaded all the plates on one side, and there's three plates left on one side. He took all three plates off of one side, and
Oh no.
the bar
Tipped over.
flew. It flew over
It
two
flew.
machines and almost killed a girl. I was like, dude, pay attention to what's around you. Have like situational awareness wherever you're at, you know?
Well, think about it. He's probably thinking like, "Oh, look at me, I'm cool." Blah blah. I could take off 3 plays at one time.
I don't know. That's like too scary. All right. I don't even remember this one.
What is she doing?
I don't know why.
What is she doing?
All right.
It's the wrong.
Again,
Well, I mean,
situational awareness, dude.
have people squat like that?
I don't think normal. Well, okay. I don't think educated people.
She's trying to practice her front squat.
I don't think educated
front squat?
people do a front squat with a yoke bar
Safety bar.
or a safety bar.
I've never seen anyone do that with a. Maybe she's trying to like.
But see, look. She picks it up.
Sense.
She doesn't do any squats or anything.
Maybe she's practicing her.
She goes to set it back.
Maybe because it's uncomfortable. Like, oh shoot, like my ankle's off, or like, it's an honest mistake. Or maybe you should be using the safety bar squat. I don't know. I've never seen anyone use the safety bar squat before.
I mean, once again, people, especially like under a bench press, dumbbell pressing, specifically in a squat rack, have situational awareness, like know where your cues are as far as like where the pins are, where your safety bar is at, everything,
At least she got the bars on, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this one's awesome. I really like this one.
At the tip.
I thought you. Oh. Did she get stuck?
Dude, look at her hair. Look at her hair.
Yeah.
Her hair grabs it.
How did her hair grab it?
Okay, when you bail out on a squat, have you ever bailed out?
No, never. I never lifted that heavy to where never. I don't do weight that I feel like I cannot do.
I've bailed out on a squat so many times, and it doesn't slide. The bar rolls off of your back, right? And so I've done it where it's grabbed the back of my collar and rolled my shirt.
Shoot.
Yeah, so it's grabbing things while it's rolling. Have you ever rolled your back out with like a foam roller?
Mm-hmm.
And it grabs your shirt?
Oh yeah, it grabs your shirt.
That's exactly what it does.
Oh shoot.
But I mean,
well, first of all, like look at the squat. Like
she did
everything. Just
I will say props to her. She did everything right. She's not squatting with safety bars. And I don't think people should squat with safety bars. Because you should just be able to bail out. I've dumped 405 out on safety bars, and it is so much more dangerous than just dumping it out with nothing behind you, because it's bouncing around on the safety bars.
Well, it depends on what the goal is, right?
1 rep max.
Safety bar squats. I mean, I feel like there is a time and place for it, but like, oh my gosh, I could like have broke her neck or something.
I mean, she did everything right in my book. It's just her hair. And then her squat, like, what was she initially going to? I would have stopped like right there.
Man, she got that range of motion.
So how much is too much?
Do it. Well, it depends on what you're trying to like.
No. Okay, I'm talking about depth. I see people at the gym go way too low. And I guess to each his own. because I've read the taller that you are, you do not need to go ass to grass. You're fine going 90-degree angle parallel.
It depends on what the goal is. Is it hypertrophy? Is it performance?
It's
right.
It's shortening and lengthening a muscle at the end of the day. Okay. You don't need to put nebulous terms on it. It's just shortening and lengthening, creating a stimuli within the muscle tissue. I'm saying
depends on what the goal is.
Okay. How low is too low?
It depends on the individual. Some people can't go down that low.
That's true.
It depends on what the individual's range of motion is. If I want to go low, if I feel like if there's a day where I'm like, I want to go low, I'm gonna go low. I go past like a little bit deeper than 90 degrees.
I love this one. This one's awesome. First lift of 2022. I dropped 155 pounds on my Yes.
Oh. That's why I don't like
this is Mike.
That's why I don't like.
Hey, 455.
Look at it's sweating.
He looks like he's in a good setting. No wraps. Baby powder and chalk. That right there.
What do you think?
All right, here you go.
Broken toe.
Here you go.
Smash, broken.
Situational awareness. Look where his foot is. Does it look wet around there? Yes, it does.
See,
he's
looking at it. Think about, well, because he felt it.
Look at that.
Because he felt it.
He's even going down to one leg. Oh,
yeah, he felt it. Like as he got up, look, rewind it back. As he got up, he felt it slipping.
Look, he turns his head.
Yeah, because it's slipping. Look, see, oh shoot, it's slipping. Obviously, he's gonna look at it.
Thank God, I have never done that. I've never done that, and I never do sumo anyway. So,
so you got to think about where you are. You know what I mean? Like, are you stable? How's the stability? Dude, I cannot do anything if it feels like I'm not stable.
Well, whenever, dude, so I don't deadlift, I don't bench press. I only squat. I take squatting very seriously, but when I do, I'm so analytical about what I do, even my hand placement, what's going to happen if I do need to bail out, focusing on every process of my lift, the eccentric, the concentric motions, everything like that, making sure, like,
what's your goal?
Okay.
What's your goal behind squatting though?
Oh, I just love it. There's no goal.
Oh, so
yeah, there's no goal
for your.
Yeah, I just thoroughly enjoy it. That's why I don't deadlift, because I fucking hate it. I don't bench because last time I did a bench press, I slightly tore my pec.
Well,
it cracks like chicken bones. That's how I know.
See, the reason why I don't bench press is because, well, for me, all I think about is bodybuilding. That's my style of lifting. Is like,
yeah.
How can I create this stimulus? And bench press is not a great exercise for me for hypertrophy, and it's not great for most people.
Dude, I've 100% given up on bench pressing with everybody.
And I don't even bench press.
Everybody I coach, I tell them don't bench press. You're gonna injure yourself.
unless that's all they have, you know. But
yeah, if they have like a home gym with like a squat rack and a barbell, that's completely fine.
You use what you got. But I don't. I usually don't add bench presses or incline bench presses to my programs, just because for most individuals, like general population people, like it's not a great exercise.
Yeah, it's I stopped. I don't even remember the last time I did an incline dumbbell press or an incline barbell press because
I do
as soon as I
incline dumbbell
stopped
presses all
it,
the time.
dude, my right shoulder completely healed. It doesn't hurt at all anymore. No, nothing. And I know it's because it's like from process of elimination. Like that's the only thing I stopped and my shoulder healed up within like 3 months time, you know? Because was your shoulder like that?
So I had a slap tear
Yeah, you had
with
like a
my
severe injury.
not a severe injury. Chill, relax. Well, actually, slap tear is pretty bad. It could have gotten really bad. But for me, it was just years of I would say
Playing at the Astros, your career at the Astros. You threw your arm out.
not it was just poor execution at the end of the day, over time. Once I started to focus more on like how to execute and exercise properly, that's when my
Yeah.
shoulder started to get better. I mean, I had some corrective exercises that helped build up my rotator cuff. But overall, execution is what solved my problem.
Do you feel like starting because you started like legit bodybuilding, you started at a really young age?
I started what, 17,
Yeah.
16,
I guess it's
17?
normal for like guys, but I mean, you weren't like, I would say like the average dude I come across that's really good at bodybuilding played football or something. It was in
Or
like
some had type of
they were
sport.
like forced in the weight room where I mean you were doing comps at a young age. So
Uh-huh.
do you think that as far as like exercise physiology goes, do you think that bodybuilding at a younger age has benefited you now? Or do you think like is your
In
body
what way?
more like is your body more worn down than it could be if you would have started later? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't say it was worn down. If anything, I just had years of poor execution. And I
Okay.
think at the end of the day, I think people, at a young age, all you're thinking about is like lifting heavy.
Also,
You don't think about the line of pull, you don't think about arm path, you don't think about all these things that actually help you in a long run, right? Because
yeah.
at the end of the like people need to understand that it's more about execution than anything. One, execution, and two, intensity. That's all you need. But people are trying to get all fancy with their exercises. But if I knew, the one advice I'd give myself if I was 17, 16 again, getting back in the gym, is just focus on execution and intensity. And most people have those two things wrong. And when you have those two things wrong, a bunch of stuff, bad stuff
Yeah.
starts happening, over time. So, dude, honestly, if I was 17 again, I'd probably do the same exercise over and over and over and over and over again. I
Yeah.
would not care about any other
Yep.
fancy quote unquote exercise.
Yep.
I would probably do the basic stuff and just try to focus on in like
Progressive
one
overload.
execution.
Yeah.
But progressive overload could be anything, you know what I mean? So intensity is a big one for me because people don't know how to tap into that intensity, and that's all they need.
Well,
People give up at 5 reps when they
yeah.
feel fatigued. Oh shoot, I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah. I'll see, or it's like when you see people on Instagram post up till failure or something, and it's like the weight that they're moving is a breeze and they're not going. And I'm like, people really don't know what failure means.
Well,
Failure
think about
means
this.
you got to drop
Um,
it.
well, people's pain tolerance is different. You know what I mean? Like, so their idea of failure is very different. But I'm gonna tell you straight up, the biggest human beings I know, or like the people that I've seen get big, are people that just train with a bunch of intensity.
Oh
They don't
yeah.
care about anything else. They just lift as heavy as they can, and they just go at it, and they forget about failure, and they're just like, screw this, I'm gonna keep going.
That was a
That
that was a problem. I think that was a big thing I learned, you know, even I would say even last year. is figuring out the difference between, like, let's say I'm doing a dumbbell press, flat bench, which I love doing, right? And I go underneath there and I could do 150s, 150-pound dumbbells each, right? Very, very easy. I could get like 4 reps, but my whole thing was, am I even triggering or creating the muscle stimuli within my pectoral area? You know, or am I
Dang,
just
so
lifting weight?
kill off
Because the
the words,
majority of
bro.
it's like my shoulders, my freaking elbows were hurting, my triceps were hurting. And I'm like, I would get up and I feel great about the lift. Don't get me wrong, but I'd get up and I'd be like, I don't even feel my chest, you know? But then that's when I was like, okay, I really need to start focusing on the stimuli aspect of things instead of just pushing weight as hard as I can, as much as I can go, to where my other body parts takes over. And I know that's specifically designed and geared towards bodybuilding instead of just like lifting weight. But I think like the real people who can tap into those two things at the same time um, are really lucky, I would say, because I'm still trying to figure out, like, of course I do exercises where I could feel it, but at the same time, I'm still have this obsession with like, I want to lift, like I want to lift
Yeah.
some heavy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, something I for something as I started lifting more, I started to forget about the feeling and I started to focus more on the stimulus. That's the main driver here, right?
Yeah.
The feeling, the pump is just the um it's just a confirmation of you, oh, you're working out that muscle. But it's not something that you necessarily need to chase. At the end of the day, it's about um muscle tension, right?
Yeah.
And the whole idea is to try to do less at the end of the day. Like you want to do less. So if you
Yeah.
can get 5 reps in, 5 perfect reps that could get you the stimulus that you're looking for, that's what you need, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
those like that's what I aim for. 5 very effective heavy load reps, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the average person that's going into the gym doesn't know how to do that. So they're going to
No.
actually need more reps to be able to create that stimulus, right? Because not every rep is going to be the same.
Well, I mean, dude, that's like the, you know, even when I write out programs for my clients, and even the things that like I have to get my athletes to change, the people that compete, it's like, because once you, especially, you know, once you get in the competition level of things and the judges, you get that judges feedback, and it's like the only thing the judge said was to bring up my chest, but everything else looks great. And then you're like, okay, how do I do this? And I think people go in the gym, even athletes, after competing, and it's almost like they fall back into this newbie transformation where they're so scared of like 5 reps or even 3 reps. They're saying, I need to do 15 to 25 reps. I need this pump. I need to get it there. And I'm like, there's a time and place for that. But are you pushing that muscle tissue till failure where the body will respond to that failure? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing how you were saying, creating the muscle stimuli, bringing that intensity. And it's like, even athletes, what they have in common with the person who steps in the gym for the first time, it's, oh, I need to do 15 to 25 reps or something. There's a time and place for that. But if you're trying to grow muscle tissue, you have to bring intensity. You have to lift some heavy stuff, and you have to be uncomfortable when you're lifting.
Well, like I said, well, I mean, they have a point, you know what I mean? Like 15 to 20 reps, like that's where you could build some muscle, right? That's a hypertrophy
There's a time and place for
level,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Like you know, up to 30. It's what is it? Up to 30 reps, right? That's like
Yeah.
where you can build muscle, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like do less. Like I do not want to do 15 reps. I'd rather just lift some heavy weight and try to do more with less. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, the average person the average lifter doesn't know how to, it takes practice. It takes years of practice. That's the crazy thing, right? That's why I was saying I would do the same exercise over and over and over again to actually build that skill where I can actually do the reps perfectly. So that way I can contract the right muscle fibers, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, that's what I would focus on
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
All right, let's do this last one.
Okay.
Then we'll move on. This one's probably the
Wow.
nicest one out of all of them.
Oh my God. Oh, that's like a really that's a burn. That's like a real burn.
Yeah, but dude, have you ever got I get these on my shoulders whenever I use the hack squat machine. You don't get that?
I got it with
Maybe it's a white person thing.
the standing calf raise machine.
Oh, okay.
That's where I would get it.
Bro, you hit
I'm like,
calves? I didn't
"Wait,
know
you do
that.
calves? I knew you were gonna
When
say
did you
that.
start that? Congratulations. Dang. What do
I
they
knew you were gonna
do?
say that.
What do they do?
I'm trying, man. Dude, anything past my knee, I'm screwed. But everything, I'm fine. But like anything past, I need it, man. I've been hitting calves like every single day. Lord help me.